Rental cars feel temporary, harmless, almost consequence-free. You pick up the keys, drive for a few days, and walk away. But after years of inspecting returned rentals, insurance write-offs, and customer disputes, I can tell you this with certainty. Rental cars cost drivers thousands because of small decisions made in moments of convenience. Not reckless driving, simple assumptions. Rental companies understand contracts better than most drivers understand cars. They know exactly where damage hides, how liability shifts, and which mistakes quietly transfer risk from them to you. And by the time most drivers realize something went wrong, the charges are already processed. If you rent cars even once a year, this video can save you serious money. Subscribe to Care Xpert because these aren't theories, they're patterns I've seen repeatedly, and the first mistake is the one almost everyone makes without thinking twice. Number 1, skipping a full walk-around inspection. Most drivers glance at the car, see nothing obvious, and drive off. That single moment is where thousands are lost. Scratches hide low, curb rash blends in, cracked trim gets overlooked. Rental companies document everything, often after you return the car. If damage wasn't logged at pickup, it becomes yours by default. I've seen drivers charge for pre-existing bumper cracks and door dings they never caused. Always inspect slowly, photograph everything, enforce documentation. Because once the car leaves the lot, the burden of proof shifts, and the next mistake makes that even worse. Number 2, trusting we'll note it later promises. Employees often say, "Don't worry, I'll mark that in the system." If it's not on your contract, it doesn't exist. Verbal assurances disappear the moment the shift ends. I've watched customers lose disputes simply because damage wasn't printed or digitally attached to the rental agreement. Systems protect companies, not promises. Always demand written confirmation or updated photos. If it's not documented, you will lose the argument. And documentation alone won't save you if you make the next mistake. Number 3, ignoring tire and wheel condition. Rental companies love charging for wheels and tires because damage is expensive and hard to dispute. Bent rims, sidewall bubbles, slow leaks. These are common and rarely checked by renters. One curb scrape can cost hundreds. One pothole impact can mean a full wheel replacement. Inspect tread depth, rim edges, and sidewalls before leaving. Take photos, because once you're on the road, tire damage becomes driver responsibility instantly. And that ties directly into the next costly assumption. Number 4, assuming insurance automatically covers everything. Many drivers believe their credit card or personal insurance covers all rental damage. It often doesn't. Exclusions, deductibles, and coverage gaps are common, and especially for wheels, tires, glass, undercarriage, and interior damage. I've seen drivers shocked when claims were denied because the damage type wasn't covered. Always know exactly what your policy excludes. Blind confidence is expensive, and insurance confusion only deepens when you make the next mistake. Number 5, declining coverage without understanding liability. Declining rental insurance can be smart, but only if you fully understand your exposure. Without coverage, you may be liable not only for repairs, but also for loss of use, administrative fees, and diminished value. That bill can exceed the car's actual damage. I've seen minor scrapes turn into 4-figure invoices. Declining coverage without clarity isn't saving money. It's gambling, and gambling gets worse when drivers forget how rentals are maintained. Number 6, driving a rental like it's disposable. Rental cars are abused daily. That means worn brakes, tired suspensions, and stressed drivetrains. Aggressive driving accelerates failures. And if something breaks under your watch, responsibility becomes complicated fast. I've inspected overheated transmissions and blown tires blamed on renters. Drive gently, warm the engine, avoid hard launches. Mechanical failures often get labeled as driver-induced, especially when abuse is suspected. And abuse doesn't always look obvious. Sometimes it's hidden under the car. Number 7, ignoring underbody and curb damage. Scraping parking blocks, steep ramps, or speed bumps can damage undertrays, exhausts, and suspension arms. Drivers rarely look underneath, but rental inspectors do. Plastic shields, bent brackets, and cracked panels lead to instant charges. Even if the car still drives fine, the damage counts. Always avoid unknown driveways and aggressive curbs, because once underbody damage is found, arguing becomes nearly impossible, especially if you also made the next mistake. Number 8. Returning the car dirty or unchecked. Dirt hides damage. Mud hides scratches. Dust hides dents. When the car is cleaned after return, any hidden damage suddenly appears, and it gets blamed on you. Always return the car clean enough to visually inspect. Walk around with an employee if possible. Document condition at return. Many disputes start after cleaning reveals something the driver never saw, and timing makes this even worse. Number 9. Rushing the return process. Dropping keys in a box feels convenient, but it removes your chance to contest damage immediately. Once you leave, inspections happen without you. I've seen damage claims appear days later with no opportunity to respond in real time. Always return during business hours when possible. Get confirmation. Get photos. Speed saves minutes. But it costs leverage. And leverage matters most when fuel and mileage come into play. Number 10. Mishandling fuel policies. Returning with less fuel than required leads to inflated refueling charges. Returning with more fuel gives you nothing back. Worse, some cars misread fuel levels due to slope or sensor lag. Photograph the gauge at return. Know the policy exactly. I've seen drivers charged for missing fuel despite filling nearby. And fuel isn't the only meter that matters. Number 11. Exceeding mileage or geographic limits. Some rentals restrict mileage or prohibit crossing borders or states. Violations void insurance instantly. If damage occurs outside approved zones, you're fully liable. I've seen claims denied solely due to location breach. Always read geographic restrictions carefully. One wrong turn can invalidate every protection you thought you had, and paperwork errors make this even harder to fight. Number 12. Not reviewing the final invoice. Carefully posted rental invoices often include charges that slip past unnoticed. Cleaning fees, admin costs, loss of use, or inflated labor rates. Many drivers assume the bill is final and pay without dispute. Always review line by line. Question anything unclear immediately. Delays weaken your case, and the final mistake ensures you have no defense at all. Number 13. Not keeping rental records after return. Photos, contracts, fuel receipts, timestamps. These are your only defense weeks later when a charge appears. Rental companies archive data. Drivers forget. Keep records for months. I've helped drivers reverse charges solely because they had proof. Without it, disputes collapse. And once charges post, recovery becomes an uphill battle. Rental cars don't cost drivers thousands because they're dangerous. They cost thousands because drivers underestimate them. Every mistake you learn today is preventable with awareness, patience, and documentation. Rental companies aren't villains, but they are structured to protect themselves first. If this video saved you from one bad decision, subscribe to Care Xpert, hit like, and comment if you want a checklist you can use before every rental pickup. Because smart drivers don't just drive well, they protect themselves before the engine even starts.